back to Everyday Struggle. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks and Wayno. A lot of new music this morning, you guys.
What's good?
Thursday, Friday.
I couldn't wait to get the show started, man. These two over here procrastinating, giggling, and talking. I'm like, let's get this thing started, man.
The narrative.
No, for real. We've been away for like 3 days. They starting for content. I'm here to bring it. What's the problem?
We just give you like 6 compliments in a row. You got to be such a dick to
yeah,
start
that's
the episode.
crazy, right?
The fuck?
That's how you gave me. That you got your eyebrows threaded this weekend.
Is that a compliment, Wayne? You got your eyebrows threaded. What do I look like I'm Dominican? Relax, nigga, now.
Well, damn. All right, let's. We got a lot to cover.
What y'all do this weekend?
This weekend, what did I do this weekend? I stayed at the crib. I played video games and watched a lot of Netflix.
Wayne don't be in the house counting money like it's paid in full, man. Over Chinese food.
What?
This thing ain't shit, man. What do you do?
I didn't do anything, Just chilling. How about you? I assume you played Fortnite and live streamed every album and song that dropped this weekend.
None of them. I didn't live stream none of these albums.
You
didn't do Quavo's album?
No.
How come?
Good thing I didn't.
Actors in these streets.
We gotta talk about this shit.
Wow. All right, guys. Quavo Huncho is out. He dropped this on Friday. About 19 songs.
Oh no. Salute to my nigga A Boogie and M Holly. And I mean, I went to go watch him perform at my old college. Fire. I didn't even know he had that many songs.
Oh, sorry. You actually wanted me to ask what you did. That's what happened.
Oh, no. You don't gotta ask.
Sorry, what'd you do this weekend?
Oh, I didn't do shit, but go watch A Boogie. He's my new favorite artist since Drake and 6ix9ine replied to my text messages last night. So, whatever.
Listen to like 4 A Boogie songs this morning. He didn't know one word.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were such a big A Boogie fan.
I'm fucking with you.
Them joints weren't even like, he was performing some shit, and it wasn't like, I don't think that was like his crowd, but they were rocking, man. I was surprised.
He was a great performer.
Well, he got a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And I still categorize him as new, but he got a lot of songs. People really rock with him, so.
Absolutely.
Most importantly, it's good that you got out of the house. Whenever you do, your fans take pictures and tag us just to let us know that you're really out in the streets.
That narrative is so overplayed, but I like it. I see it. I like it.
I like it.
I'm gonna start sending that impersonator out, okay? See, I might think y'all seen me, that's not me.
Gonna have like an MF
I can't wait till Halloween.
MF Doom act.
Halloween is the best time of the year for me because I don't have to go out in there and worry about people like looking at me and shit. I just put on a fucking mask and I'm going in.
All right, good for you.
That sounds deep, brother. If you gotta wait till Halloween.
For real. I hate, sometimes I hate going out just because like, I don't want to be dealing with people. Like, I just want to be regular. I want to go out and just be like super regular.
People gonna notice them sweatpants and still run down on you. Be like, yo,
I got the Balenciagas. No, not for rappers. I don't do rappers. I like being around regular people just having fun. You know what I mean? I like regular people fun. Rapper fun is, or celebrity fun is
okay.
Feel like we're on the couch for him right
It's
there.
true. The other shit is snorting coke and, you know what I mean, similarly. I ain't into that.
Me either, Academics. Me either.
I
but back to this Quavo album, which you did not live stream this weekend for some reason. Quavo Huncho's out.
Quavo!
19 songs, hella features on here, including Madonna. Cardi, of course, we expected. Lil Baby, 21 Savage. Let's listen to a snippet of Huncho Dreams.
Queen, the queen can't flex on the young boy. Made her scream. Chanel, I bought her 2 on. You can check IG. Cause when she posted, go up. Is she for keeps? Only if she come with 2 on. Yeah. I be sniping. I can't be wifing. I know she fights.
So that was Quavo having a little fun responding to Nicki on Barbie Dreams. But what did you guys think of the project overall? I think immediately as you look, there's a ton of features on this, but we expected this with the Quavo album, right? We were looking forward to some of them, like the Kid Cudi feature. What did you guys think?
Well, overall, I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed in this project. I felt like it's a lot of throwaway records. I felt like the records that I actually started liking didn't come to like the second half, which I liked the journey with him and Madonna. I didn't think I was going. I was listening to it. I didn't know that was Madonna.
So confused, and I was like, "Is this a sample at first?"
And Cardi's on there as well. I like the joint Rerun with Travis Scott, and I also like Big Bro. I like Big Bro, but other than that, like, I feel like QC, they're in such a good place. They on some No Limit shit. Remember how No Limit was dropping like every week? Like now we see Yachty dropping something else. Takeoff supposed to be dropping something. I think a lot of this shit is getting rushed. And I just expected a little bit more from Quavo. I didn't expect this many records either.
Did you not expect that many records though?
Nah, I felt like, remember we was talking about if Quavo was to do an album? That nice spot for me as a fan of the Migos would have been like maybe 10 or 11. Being 100, I can't really tolerate them too much.
Right.
Like too much is a lot for me.
It is a lot. So look, if this was supposed to be the record that set up Quavo as a big solo star, obviously he said he's not leaving the group. It's a good look for the group. Do you feel like this showed a side of Quavo we hadn't seen before, Ak?
No. It was about 4 songs remade 14 times. No, but honestly, this is what you should expect from Quavo. Like, the problem here is number one, QC's collecting the bag. Salute to them. And you got to collect the bag, finesse the audience. Right now, we're in the Migos wave. But to be honest, like, I was among one of the people who were clamoring for, yo, we do want a solo album. Let's get it. To be honest, we get to realize what we want is not what we really got. You get me? Or what we thought was going to be much better than actually what came out. This, to me, proved why Quavo is great in the group. And why Quavo is great with other artists. He's a great compliment. It's hard to pull a solo album by yourself. And most of the songs you saw with the features, a lot of times he got outshined by the feature. And he's more of a setup guy, at least when I enjoy this album. And it's a solo album. So basically, this is like the, it felt like it was substituting other people for the other members of Migos when they weren't on the songs. So, I mean, I'm not that surprised. But I've seen a lot of people trashing it. I don't think it was that bad. But there is a lot of fillers on there. Like, yo, Quavo don't got 19 tracks, man. Quavo don't got 19. If he's really going to sit down and AR this project and really pick some good records and the top tier joints that really showcases his talent as a solo artist, you can't pick 19 songs. There ain't 19 songs on it. This was done for streaming. But most of these joints, just like collab albums these days, they're money grabs. And I think the quality suffered for it. I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's trash. I hear the social media was killing it. I don't think it's trash. It was definitely, of course, rushed like everything is, but it was a lot of fillers. And when you're doing a solo album, this is probably what Mike Will was probably thinking about when it came to Ray Shremmer's album, when he wanted to do solos for each of the members and said, should we do this on its own or combine it with the group project? Because people would clamor for it and then
that was definitely a different strategy, but I wonder if it comes down to that here, or like you guys said, he rushed it and put too many songs. You could have made a better, more concise body of work. I don't know if putting like the triple album would have been better, right? Yeah, so Culture 3, 30 tracks plus, you know what I mean? Well,
not triple album, but the length. Look at Swaycation. Swaycation was not the drawn out, like, 20. Remember, that's my biggest gripe or concern with Shrem Life 3 going into it. I didn't want it to be too long. I'm like, I'm hearing triple album. You're going to give me 60 songs. I don't want it. And it turned out to be like 25 for 3 albums.
Well, I mean, we can tolerate 19 tracks if they all heat. Right now, you can tolerate 19 tracks if they all heat. Out of a 5, I would give this like a 3.5. Because, like you said, I don't think it's trash, but I think it needed a lot more work, and I think it needed to be scaled down a whole lot. But, again, they had a great year. I don't think that he had to put this out. He could have waited till next year to put this out. But this only pushes me more in the line of Offset is the best Migo, for me.
I won't even go there.
He's the best Migo to me.
I won't even go there. I feel like we played musical chairs and set somebody else up. All right, Quavo, you didn't give us what we want. It's Offset time. Then it's going to be Offset and be like, yo, we finally realized that it was Takeoff with the really, you know what I mean? And also, you know what I mean? I've said it for a long time. Takeoff is probably the best rapper. Okay?
I mean, I think he has a lot of...
Well, actually the best flow.
I think he has a better ability, right? But as far as rapping and making a song for their level of rapping, I go with Offset. I go with Offset. But again, I hope a Offset Cardi B album is not coming out tomorrow. I hope they don't rush that. I think they just need to scale back. They're having a hell of a run. And, you know, in order to maintain or to keep this run going, which they're very smart, they probably have the next 2 years planned out. I think they just they should better strategically plan these releases.
Right, especially since they're teasing the Drake and Migos. What songs on here do you think are actually going to do well?
Oh, and by the way, for a conglomerate called Quality Control, I said this about Culture too. Like, we got to get some quality control when it comes to these tracks. And I did like some tracks on there though. Biggest Alley-Oop, by the way, hard intro. I got to say that. Quavo came with a hard intro, probably one of the hardest intro this year. I love the joint with him in 21. Pass Out, Huncho, Dreams. I love that response to Nicki. Of course, you gotta take it in good fun. The joint with Drake, that was good. Working Me was good.
The joint with Drake was good, yeah?
Flip the Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, you thought it was trash?
I don't think it was trash. It don't gotta be trash. I don't think it was really good though. Like, I don't think it was good. Like, I mean, it's not trash. It's okay. Like, that one was okay. That was not Remember how we talked about French's record with Drake? That's like one of those. Like,
Nah, French record with Drake is fire to me.
you said, you know what? We're not gonna go there, man. We're not gonna go there.
I said, for performance wise, he should have had Drake do a longer verse at the beginning because I don't think he's performing as he should.
That is true. That's what he said.
Okay.
But this record here, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Best feature on the album.
Best feature on the album?
I'm going with Travis.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Travis too.
All right, so you guys agree on something.
I'll go with Travis.
All right, so overall, slightly disappointed with the Quavo project. Too many songs, no quality control here.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Pretty much. But you know what I mean? I'm gonna resent and reject any notion that this album is trash. It's not trash. Okay, but I think social media, I seen the same motherfuckers who was saying 2 months ago, we just want Quavo's the Beyonce, give us like a solo project. He gives it. And I ain't gonna lie, that's how Culture 2 was. They remade like 4 songs 15 times, and people rocked out to it. Now it's like, oh, we don't want like this. Don't be hypocritical.
Don't be hypocritical. All right, so more new music. This one I feel like everyone will agree on. Kodak Black has another song out. This one's called Zeze featuring Travis and Offset. Let's listen.
Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, felt the mansion. Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand it. Bridges undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover.
2 in a row for Kodak?
I ain't like this shit at all.
Oh.
I ain't like this shit at all, man. They should have dropped the instrumental. And I love Kodak. Kodak, no, I love him. But they should have dropped the instrumental, man. This shit came out, and I was like, what the fuck is
that
this?
bad.
This shit ain't good.
Didn't you put it on Cloud Tokens?
Yeah, it's on there. But I don't like this record. You know what I mean?
Why is it on Cloud Token?
Well, I got a curator. Salute to my girl.
Even if you don't like it?
It's not for me.
Okay.
This is not. I don't think Travis should have been on it. Travis shouldn't, or if he's on it, shouldn't have been up first. This is a Kodak vibe type of song, and the vibe starts all fucked up. I'm like, this ain't Astro World 3.0. Get this shit out of here.
Interesting.
If this song was already a hit from the beat, just Kodak vibing out to the beat, this shit was a hit. And when I heard the full song, I'm like, is it?
Wow.
Well, I
honestly believe that it going viral made it run up the charts, but
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. For me, I like Kodak when he's talking a little bit more street shit, but I didn't really know what he was talking about on this. Zeze, I'm thinking, is he talking about zoning on there? Like getting people for shit? That's what it kind of sounds like. But I didn't think it was a bad song. I didn't think it was like, this shit is trash, it's Astro World 3.0, it's not that. Like, I didn't think all of that.
Tired of Travis Scott, man.
What?
It's not as
Travis Scott.
It's hard
tired of Travis Scott?
It's hard to hang with him
Damn.
on a track and be yourself.
I'm tired
Is
of
it
Travis
his
Scott already.
fault?
Why?
though? It's not his fault.
Wait. Why are you tired of Travis Scott?
Well, maybe not because of him, but every artist is whoring him out and trying to throw him on their new song. Yeah, I'm tired of it.
It's because
I had
Travis takes
Astroworld, that
over
was
the
good.
track. It's
That
really
was
hard to
good.
be a feature with him. And
Travis Scott, when he has an overpowering sound, he gets on your track and the shit sounds like he has his own lane. It's Astroworld, nigga. When I'm listening to Kodak, I ain't trying to think about no Travis Scott. I would have liked Travis to not be on this record. And I'm tired of the 20 other artists that's about to try to whore Travis Scott even more out and try to get him on their new record or the new single. Cut it out. Let that nigga chill. He's in his own lane. He's going to get on your song. It's going to sound like his song. Stop
maybe that's what they
But
want.
I mean, that's cool.
Kodak don't need that shit. Kodak got a vibe.
Does.
I was expecting like some tunnel vision with, obviously not that type of content, but like when you have a hit beat, I'm thinking Kodak is just gonna kill it. And instead, it felt like one of those piece me together tracks. Okay, we got a hit feature because he's hot. Travis, get on this. No chemistry.
That's what most of these records is nowadays, though. Most of these records nowadays is that, just everybody jumping on something together. Nobody's competing, so what do you expect?
I agree, but I feel like they dropped the ball with this, man. Okay. Highly anticipated by me.
Wow.
I want to know the producer. I want to bump the beat by itself.
I thought you were gonna have a really exciting weekend with all these releases up, but apparently not. We have one more for you, though. If you don't like this next one...
Yo, somebody send me the Travis Scott less version of this, man. For real.
He's just being a hater now.
No, it's not being a hater. Travis is not bad. The vibe he creates is not the vibe that Kodak compliments.
Got it.
You get me? For me.
Okay.
Fair enough. It's still not his fault, though, right?
Right.
I guess people got to stop putting him on their records. All right, how about this one? Drake and Bad Bunny. You have to like this song, right, Ak? No? Young Champagne? All right, so they teased this, months ago? I feel like back in January. It took a minute to come out, but maybe it's because Drake was learning Spanish. It's already #2 on the iTunes chart. Mia, let's check out the video.
Dile que tú eres mía, mía, tú sabes que eres mía, mía, tú misma lo decías cuando yo te lo hacía. Dile que tú eres mía, mía, tú sabes que eres mía, mía, tú misma lo decías.
All right, was this worth the wait?
Let's see what he says today, because he got
It's
a lot.
Puerto Rican Poppy, man. Come on, man. This shit was fire, man.
Finally.
You know what I mean? My
We
nigga got
got
bars
something.
in every language. Cut it out. You know, he's turning up on this one. You know, Bad Bunny got some of the nicest flows, and you know what I mean? He got some bars, too, in Latin trap. Salute to Bad Bunny, Drake. This was good. Actually, I was shocked how, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, you know, Drake bootleg accent of everything when he has his Jamaican accent, his African accent, he got his Chicago accent, he got his Atlanta accent, he got his West Coast. All of them, they sound close to being authentic, but you know it's a little bootleg. His shit was not that
saying,
bad.
it
You know what I
seems like
mean?
it took 8
He's rolling
months
his
to really
R's
get
and
this
shit.
down.
But
You know what I mean?
When I seen it, I was making a joke that like when I first seen it kind of looked like a karate movie, like you know when they're doing the voiceovers and they like you know what I'm talking about when they're talking, but it doesn't look like they're them.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this record. It was a good record. You know, you don't understand anything that they're saying, but that's not what music is about. If the shit moves you, it works. So.
Man, I'm pulling up to Washington Heights and Dykeman this weekend, man. I got to see how this shit plays out there, bruh. Okay, I got to go kick it with the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and see how this song get down, man. Not gonna lie, it's on fire.
Okay.
All right, I'm glad we finally got one that you like. Obviously, that's going to be a huge hit. Let's just see how big of a hit it's going to be. All right, so last week we got a preview of LeBron James' new HBO show called The Shop. It was him and Drake talking about retirement. Now, in the full episode, Drake finally talks about what went down with Kanye and Pusha outside of the music. Akademiks, I hope you're happy because you still wanted answers. So he basically says he ended up linking up with Ye out in Wyoming. He told him a whole speech that he was in a great place and he wanted to work with him. He told Drake to be transparent. Basically, he said, I could help you. I could be your Quincy Jones. That's when he told him about his son, his album release dates, and then the news of his son broke, and the Pusha T and Kanye albums dropped at the same time as his. Like, anything surprising in here for you, Ak? I feel like you were not able to make peace with this. You always wanted more. He also talks about Pusha. We'll get to that. But what do you think about what he said about Kanye?
Well, I mean, we kind of knew some of this. I wanted him to say it.
Are you happy now
Yeah,
that
I'm
he
happy
said
that
it?
he said, you know what, it came off the whole thing, I'm glad of course he don't do interviews. I didn't want him to do an Apple Music interview. Like, them interviews look so scripted. It looked like they're cutting and pasting. It looked like somebody got a prompter with his answers. They look the fakest thing ever on earth. But when he's sitting down there with LeBron, he's speaking candidly. It looks believable. Yeah. And you got to realize it's one of those dark spots on his career. He has to address it and make sense of it. And being genuine is very important. He came off as being genuine to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Of course, he explained the levels of deception by Ye, right? Finessed him, finessed 40. Okay, he's sending pictures, baby pictures and shit. And, you know what I mean? I feel like he did a great job explaining why he has that energy for Ye now.
So question, you don't feel like he's a bully anymore, right? Remember when he kept like saying shit about Ye? And he was like, yo, if like you don't say nothing, it just seems like you're a bully.
Now he's not a bully because my whole point about that is that you're doing it publicly, bro. Like niggas don't like each other. When you just start, if randomly Gucci Man just starts dissing Quavo, and he's exactly right, just random.
No, but we know that there was problems with Ye and Drake since the summertime.
But that's Ye came out and says, I did none of this. I did none of this. I did none of this. I love you. This, whatever.
So
well, I don't think Ye knows what fucking planet he's on right now.
Right.
That's like
nothing that he say should be.
No. But we get the other side where Drake's basically saying, yeah, nigga was deceiving me. I still think he's lying. Like that's what he said. I mean, he's lying about all this. So you get the other side rather than one guy saying, oh, I want no problems and no, I had no idea about whatever. Now we're realizing, yeah, nigga, you hyped him over the beat, you took his date, you did everything. It makes sense. Because Drake could have been mad at him privately without us knowing, but once you start saying it on stage a lot without explanation, some point you look lame.
Okay. we can
Interesting.
keep going into it because
Yeah, so
there's
he
a lot for us to
also
talk about.
he also addressed Pusha T. So his biggest issue, it seemed, was what Pusha had to say about 40. You're wishing death on my friend that has multiple sclerosis. Just know that there's a price you have to pay for that. Someone's gonna punch you in the fucking face. So he said at this point he didn't want to waste time going back and forth with him. Got a little bit too personal, etc.
Right.
What do you think?
Now, yeah, I want to know what you think first.
About that,
Yeah.
not particularly, like, for that, I don't know why that's the sticking point for him. Because to be honest, like, I would have felt more of a way how he spoke about my mom. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm Drake and he's calling, he basically kind of disrespecting Sandy on the low. I would have felt more offended by that rather than what you said about my producer, right? But for Drake, I guess it was a producer thing. To me, overall, Drake picked image over legacy. He said that, he recorded a song. I listened to it a bunch of times, and it didn't sit right with me. I called LeBron. I'm not going to do it. And he picked image over legacy. It's a very glaring hole in his career, but, you know what I mean? He obviously, whatever track he recorded would have killed his image of being a good guy.
I think that's bullshit. I think that whatever track he did have, him recording was bullshit.
Why do you
Only
think that's
because, I'm gonna tell you why, because he said he studied rap battles. Rap battles has always been disrespectful, because for the most part, a lot of rap battles could have spilled, or was in the streets, or could have spilled into the streets. 50 and Ja, right? 50 talked about Ja Rule's kids, he talked about his wife, he talked about any and everything you could possibly do, right? State Property and D Block. People thought that shit was gonna get nasty. Now for Drake, I don't know what rap battles he studied, but my thing is nobody's saying nothing about him saying this man's wife's name, like about Pusha's wife.
Okay.
Now, if we joking on people, like if we're joking, you can't have no tough skin if you want to joke with people, right? Because at the point where I'm gonna humiliate you, I'm gonna talk about everything. Now, wishing death. All right, he did say a line, the tick, tick, tick shit or whatever, but at that point, that for me, that was kind of shocking that was the straw, right? Because I don't play with people's, like, family or their kids. I feel like somebody saying something to the detriment of your child or to disrespect your child is the utmost disrespect.
Right.
But for him to say that it was 40 and then it took him to a, I feel like he should have dropped the record because you have to go all out. Like, you have to go all out.
This might sound a little stupid, but I feel like it's not a stretch to say that 40 is family to him at this point. It's not his mom.
No, that's his family.
But it's family.
Well, listen, I agree with if that's the fucking line that just makes you, oh, fuck this, I ain't rapping, I don't know. But I'm going to defend it, like, as I said, he picked image over legacy.
Okay.
Rap battles, even the ones you've named, they're much different from now. Like, whatever Drake says on a fucking record is not some shit that you're gonna absorb on a mixtape that's only people from the culture. You're gonna have everybody, this is the worldwide platform that's now looking at, makes it much different. Drake is a different type of an artist.
Yeah, but we talking about a rap battle. Like, we're
even
talking about a rap battle.
Even when he's disrespecting niggas, he's being indirect.
All right,
now he has to tear all that down, say, like, some of the things that he could have said.
Okay, but look, he said this shit, even with the shit he said about Cudi on Two Birds, One Stone. He said something about him, like, being crazy or some shit.
But he's
I wasn't mad
he's
at
the king
that.
of subs, that's the thing. For him to reflect the level of disrespect Pusha showed him, I guess to his point, he just couldn't do that because he's too big of an artist. So you have to step back.
If you
don't step back.
If you,
He fucks up a lot of bags.
So for his legacy, he needed to respond. You got to drop the track, right? Now, you have to get blatantly and overtly disrespectful to the point that Pusha is.
And I said he should have. I said he should have.
I play this. Let's reverse it, right?
Okay.
Because we don't know what Drake was gonna say, right?
Right.
Let's say Drake was wishing death on somebody who had MS on Pusha's side. Drake is getting killed. Like Pusha's, like, it's different. Drake is getting killed. You know.
Yo, listen.
Drake
You don't have to. All right. Okay. Cool. MS aside.
Would you admit that?
No, but wait, do you agree,
That's the big
though,
point.
that if Drake said something to the level that Pusha did, it would be a lot worse for him?
It would be, all right, people gonna view him a certain way, right? But at the same time, if you get into a fight and now you beat the shit out of somebody to defend yourself, nobody's gonna be like, you shouldn't have done that because you're defending yourself.
No one in the streets would say that, so no one in our little rap bubble would say that. But Drake is a mega super global star,
and he's clever and he's a great artist. So you mean to tell me that he couldn't?
That's the thing. I don't think he could have been clever. He would have had to play dirty.
You mean to tell me he couldn't afford back without saying something that somebody has to die?
Wayno being hypocritical right
I'm not being hypocritical.
No,
not that someone has to die.
No,
but
not even whatever means that level of disrespect. We all said, Drake, it's time for you to get disrespectful. And he's basically just saying, everything I could get disrespectful about, like, I can't do. And listen, I'm with you.
All right, but look, my thing is this, right? Okay, with him explaining everything with him and Kanye, I feel like Kanye, I just think he's a wild person. I can't even say he fucked up because I just don't know what type of mind state he in. I don't think that he's crazy. I think that he's very aware of everything he does.
Well, Drake would say he's very
victim.
manipulative.
I think he's manipulative, and I think he plays the victim in a lot of different roles, right?
Does.
So I could understand Drake being hurt because this is somebody that you're entrusted in. You talk, like, sending people pictures of your kids, that's personal. You know what I mean? Especially when everybody doesn't know that. Cool. Now, when Pusha challenged him, he challenged him on his pen. He didn't say nothing about 40 at that moment. He didn't say nothing about his mother, nothing. He challenged him on his pen. What Drake said on the HBO special. Oh, he talking about me writing? I just was writing for them. Okay, so if we're going to keep it in that parameter, keep it in that parameter. You said this man, fiance at the time, who was going to be his wife, you said her name. I'm going to let it ring on you like Virginia Williams. Clever metaphor, but you said her name. Well, if it's rules, what happened to no women, no children? So at the point where you attack what I love most, I'm attacking what you love most, your family and your friends.
He ain't necessarily attack her, bro. But
he didn't attack her. I'm just saying he said her name.
Him. He should have never said her name.
Oh, okay, but all right. So look. So that's at that point.
But let's not act like Drake would like diss his family.
He didn't say. Look, he didn't degrade her. He didn't degrade her, but he said her name. Period. He said her name, period. If he attacked all right, we attacked. It was written it was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin.
Right.
Was the line, right? Now, after that line, it's not no shit really about Drake after that. So he attacked the pen. He says something about his fiance. He says something about his fiance. He comes back with everything else. So you can't act like these actions are unwarranted.
Yeah.
And you can't say, oh, it's rules, it's rules. Where was your rules and morals in that moment?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't disagree with you at all.
I
was just
it
understanding
didn't even sound
why.
like he disagreed with that.
Just understanding why he felt like he couldn't respond.
Understanding why there's not a response, there's much more clarity to that. And also, I agree with him. Nigga, I'm not gonna sit here and rap back with you and further your career. Yes, now you're relegated to comment on the Akademiks Instagram. Respond to my interview. I'm not rapping back. I'm not going back and forth with you niggas, bro. Okay, if Ye want it, he'll get it. But you other niggas,
but it ain't other niggas because we all know that Ye is not gonna make no fucking song. At the peak of Ye being a rap artist, whatever, if he wrote it or not, he's not making nothing to go back and forth with Drake.
All right, but if we're going even by what you admitted earlier, and I admitted too, Duppy's more about Ye than Pusha.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm beating up the big bro and the little bro, I answered him already. I don't need to go back and forth with him. If the big bro not answering, especially when everything stems from him, it stems from him producing the track. It stems from him basically finessing me like a hoe and getting all the information out.
When all this happened, you was like, man, this nigga Pusha better respond. It's over. 24 hours. Let's keep it clear, right? Rap battles. Now, for most of the rap battles that have been in this generation or not, like I said, it was some street shit, but we wanted to hear diss records going back and forth. Jadakiss says stuff about Beanie Siegel's faith.
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel says shit about Jadakiss' family, all types of shit. In rap battles, we want to hear you rap. We want to hear how disrespectful you could get without
different level, my nigga.
Wait a second. It is a different level, but so what? Guess what? They are rappers, man. You can't say that you're going to rap with somebody and then you say, you know what? You're being too mean. You're going too hard.
You guys both have good points here. We're going to go on this
Drake
forever.
realized why he probably should stop dabbling in it. And Pusha did an interview too where he was talking about, and Pusha had a great point. It was like, you can't play around with the notion of battling, and then when we get into it, it's too far. Brilliant point by Pusha.
Yes.
I love that point. That's true. Drake found out nigga, if you gon' be a rapper, but you're not at the stage anymore where you can engage and go back and forth with any other rapper, especially if you have to get disrespectful.
Right.
That's your limit, and because of that, you either gotta tap out or you gotta not engage.
So all right, so if okay, so we talking about levels and all of that shit. So let's say, just hypothetical, somebody who's on a Drake level, because okay, he went back and forth with Meek, and Meek ain't at the level of artistry where Drake was at.
Okay, but
that didn't get
play this.
It didn't get disrespectful, but
it's a
but that's the
popularity
thing.
contest.
He was able to make big pop records out of it.
I know, but
track.
so don't take the point of, oh, he shouldn't be furthering niggas' careers because it's not about furthering nobody's career. Listen, everybody.
A back-to-back doesn't work with what Pusha said.
Listen, let
you
me
have
tell
a child.
Wait,
You're hiding a child.
I know, but look,
a child.
Look, they have weight classes. Listen, let me tell you something.
You gotta violate them.
Listen, in bouts, and fighting, all of that, they have
Wayno, you're hiding a child.
I'm not hiding none of my kids. They have weight classes. They have weight classes for a reason, right? They have weight classes for a reason. What I feel like with this whole shit was Drake felt that he was gonna jump in that weight class, and because he was Drake, he was gonna overpower him. Now Pusha, and he saluted Pusha for that. He's like, yo, I ain't gonna front. He said, I think that the shit was whack, but the chess move, how it was rolled out, made perfect sense. But he just got in the wrong. I think he just got in the wrong weight class at the moment. That's all.
Listen,
honestly, what it is that this nigga Drake, after coming off, it's like after he just came off a nice victory off Meek, and you saw some shit thrown at the wall but didn't stick. Remember Meek threw out, yo, he got pissed on. Yo, that nigga really got pissed on. And everybody said, so what? It was like, oh, word, okay. So I'm like, Teflon, nothing will stick. But you're hiding a child. That stuff. And
yeah, man. I mean, it was all fun. I ain't gonna front. It's one of the best.
I wish Pusha and Drake would stop beefing and we could all just get
Kanye
the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, Kanye,
He's the
I ain't
problem
gonna front.
right
Kanye
now.
is
He's the problem. Oh man. All right.
He's a foul
I guess
nigga.
we can move on to this next story
Right.
then. All right, guys. Kanye went to the White House last week. He did have his lunch with Donald Trump. Unfortunately, Colin Kaepernick did not make it. Big surprise. They talked about a lot of important things, sort of. But let's start with the most important clip from this monologue. Let's take a look.
I was connected with a neuropsychologist that works with the athletes in the NBA and the NFL. And he looked at my brain. It's equal on 3 parts. I'm going to go ahead, drop some bombs for you. 98 percentile IQ test. I had a 75 percentile of all human beings, but it was counting 8 numbers backwards after it was repeating. So I'm going to work on that one. The other one's 98% Tesla, Freud.
Tesla and Freud. All right, so we just need to set up that very important part, and now we can take a look at the rest.
It's something about, I love Hillary, I love everyone, right? But the campaign, I'm with her, just didn't make me feel as a guy that didn't get to see my dad all the time, like a guy that could play catch with his son. It was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. You made a Superman, that's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cape for me. All right now, you gave me the heart to go to Adidas, because at Adidas, when I went in 2015, we were a $14 billion company, losing $2 billion a year. Now we have a $38 billion market cap. It's called the Yeezy effect. If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes, the best factories, and we have to make our core be empowered. We have to bring jobs into America because our best export is entertainment and ideas. No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here. Yeah. Come here. Yeah.
Did he call this nigga his father?
Did he actually say that word?
I mean, he didn't say.
He might as well have.
Right, he might as well called him his dad. I mean, like, honestly, at this point, like, I'm off Kanye.
What does Jay-Z have to say about this?
Absolutely nothing.
When is Jay gonna speak? We need help, bro. Please.
Absolutely, you should keep it that way.
I don't know what my question is here. I just.
Well, I'm gonna go completely left field. I watched this whole thing. I didn't even think it was that bad. Like, honestly, this is the most logical and coherent I've heard this nigga sound in
On
the
what
last.
level?
he was actually speaking about shit. The niggas spoke about school, reforming prison, prison reform. Like he was speaking on a bunch of stuff.
Did he have a conversation or did he just talk to himself?
No, he was rambling, of course. Listen, this is a taped pre-luncheon in the Oval Office, and he's kind of spewing off a lot of things. He got a lot of things out there. Number one, this was a huge power move. This kind of just convinced me that.
What are you talking about? He said to empower the pharmaceuticals. The fucking pharmaceutical companies need to be empowered.
Listen.
Ak, are you a Trump supporter?
Bro, I'm
asked you the question.
No.
All right.
I'm listening to Kanye, and not because you don't agree. Not because you don't agree means you could just say like everything he said was bullshit.
No, it's not even about. It's not even about agreeing.
No. He had points. I'm telling you, he had points. My nigga
He has
literally
points.
sat
He
in
has
front
points
of
every time he speaks. He has points every time he speaks.
All right, so you tell me bullshit shit he said, because I can tell you the shit that was logical.
He has points
I don't
every
agree with
time he
everything
speaks
said.
when he's talking about this is my superhero hat and you're empowering.
All right, that's trivial, bro. That's trivial.
It's trivial. He's giving him. Listen,
Name
you're giving
a
person
solid point he had. And tell me how bullshit it was.
You're
of course,
giving
that
a person.
MAGA hat shit is nonsense, but that's just an item. He was actually talking a little bit up. He seemed a little bit more educated. I don't know if Jim Brown gave him little talking points. Clearly, he was in Chicago. He name dropped a couple people who he said, "Yo, they told me." Nigga pulled out something and said, "This is how I should explain it," because some people kind of gave him some knowledge on some shit. I'm saying, as a rapper sitting in front of the President of the United States, I thought that was big. I do think his agenda is for himself. He basically down-talked
How many times can you say Yeezys and Adidas while talking about
He's a
stopping
narcissist.
frisk?
No, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist,
man.
but he's a narcissist.
So what is it about?
Okay.
If there's so much real shit, then what is it about?
To have anybody sit in front of the President of the United States and say, we need to get stop and frisk out of places like Chicago, where I'm from, where I'm talking to the real people, yes, I get it. The nigga is a fucking narcissist who's about himself just like Trump is, who I believe is setting up for a run. His damn self. Kanye spoke directly like a nigga who wants to be in that position. He's for himself. But I can't lie and say some of the stuff he said, hey, we should, Larry Hoover, we should free him. That takes a lot of balls. Sitting in front of the President of the United States, advocating for the freedom.
He's not gonna get locked up for saying that.
Okay,
So it doesn't take a lot of balls. Like,
But
what
if this
does
is-
that take to say that?
Okay, but if this is a guy in a sunken place who is so like whatever.
He says anything, bro. He says any fucking thing, dog. Like,
but if we're gonna critique this, I don't see, like, the MAGA hat shit is stupid. I get it. I don't even want to hear about Yeezys ever, even on a Breakfast Club interview. So I don't want to hear you talking about the president about
What
it.
about him saying Saturday Night Live and other liberals need to cut it out and make the president look good? So Trump wants to block freedom of speech. He wants the press to cut it out. And now Kanye is here basically saying the same thing. You want to censor Saturday Night Live? Fuck out of here, Ak.
So what that told me, Kanye definitely ain't Democrat. Kanye's like a Republican.
We knew that.
duh, nigga.
That's so besides the point. There's nothing wrong with being a Republican.
Wait,
That's such a bullshit argument that he makes every time.
He doesn't, or he didn't. He hasn't like claimed he is, but that's where he falls on that totem pole.
Dog,
but
listen,
regardless,
Trump represents a lot of wrong things in this country, and
but that has nothing to do with the meeting.
But why is
specifically
look,
talking about
it's
that.
fine for him to go up there and discuss points, but him geeking out and hugging him and talking about you all need to make sure he looks fly and fresh.
That's
Stop.
that's his
best
homie.
brains
That's his homie. Honestly, that's his homie. I can't.
I'm just saying. You said if we're critiquing this, you're saying.
But
if you're gonna talk
critique points, the only point that I think good critique, the Saturday Night Live thing, right? Well, some people might say, well, you know what? They're very harsh on him, but you're right. It's fucking
It's a
freedom of speech.
yeah.
If we're gonna clown a nigga, we're gonna clown a nigga. You can't tell us not to clown him.
He used to be a part
Great
of
point.
clowning people. Like he's a fight.
But all I'm saying is throughout the
This is the thing.
conversation.
All right, okay, go ahead.
Throughout the conversation, he had some points that were decent.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, his chummy attitude and narcissistic points
Mm-hmm.
to always bring it back to his business and, oh, I'm going to have some ideation center. It sounded a little bit self-centered,
okay.
but I can't be mad.
Okay, so
at
look,
him.
so when most presidents, they try to bring in whatever black person they think can speak for all black people. He does not speak for me at all.
Everyone,
Like,
stop.
he does not
We
speak
know
for-
that Trump does not feel like Kanye speaks for black people. Let's cut it
I don't know who he think, but he has to think that he has some sort of influence on black people. No.
He knows that he has influence,
Of course.
but Trump deep down does not believe that what Kanye is saying,
But what the
Black
fuck does
America
he speak
is
for? Like, what does I don't even know if Kanye knows what he speaks for.
himself.
Nah, I think he does. Like, this
What?
was probably the most clearest I've seen this guy in a while. And
So
I-
what
I
does this
see-
tell you? about him going
Yeah,
forward.
what's the next step? What happens now?
What this told me, I told you guys, this told me that Kanye is in it for himself. On particular issues, you might raise a hand like, you're right. Who in the urban community has been like advocating stop and frisk, right? However, you hear, at least on a political level, a lot of these motherfuckers, they throw it in. Even Democrats, they'll throw it in when they are out of ideas. You get me? Kanye advocated against it, right?
man.
So, but other issues, he's like on some, he's definitely Republican and he's just self-centered and narcissistic in. So I'm saying he's for himself. I see this as him kind of pandering to some of Trump's supporters. I think it's all about him, bro.
Yeah, I just want to say for the record, this is not a Republican versus Democrat issue anymore.
It's not.
He uses that as an excuse, and it's really bullshit. Like when he tweets that. Cut it out. That's not what we're talking about now. But anyway, let's let T.I. weigh in here, and we'll get back to it. So we had T.I. up on the show a couple weeks ago. We asked him what he thought about Kanye being in love with Trump, essentially, because they, of course, talked about this. They put a record out. So here's what he had to say at the time.
I think, man, you have to be patient, stand back, watch the whole board, and see how it plays out, man. You know, right now we're reacting in a matter of minutes, seconds. It's a microwave society. Just stand back and see what happens. Let's see if he actually does get Kaepernick to go to the White House. Let's see how this thing plays out.
All right. So we gave him a chance. We waited patiently. Here's what T.I. had to say after this White House meeting. This is the most repulsive, disgraceful, embarrassing act of desperation and auctioning it off of one's soul to gain power I've ever seen. Your ass kissing and bootlicking on a whole new level. I refuse to associate myself with something so vile, weak, and inconsiderate to the effect that this has on the greater good of all of our people. Look, man, I don't know.
The amazing man tan. That's who Kanye is.
I guess we just go back to stop talking about it, or I don't know. You could dig up the parts of this that make sense.
What T.I. said, most of it is true. Like, yeah, he's sitting in front of the fucking president, this Kanye. Yeah, he's ass kissing. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers, you put them in front of the president, all that shit they told on Instagram is done. They're ass kissing too. That looked horrible by Kanye because Kanye was literally like, give me a hug. Like, it looked so horrible. But
you said it wasn't that bad.
I'm talking about the meeting. What people are critiquing are not what was said. We're critiquing that he wants a hug and he's like showing like the little shit that's social media like. We're not talking about what he actually said. We're using a clip of Kanye might like me and be like, no, I love you. Yeah, that looks like some bootlicking shit.
But don't you think that kind of takes away from the point he's trying to get across when he's doing shit like that? So if you're trying to make a point, right, respectfully, if you're in a place and you're having you the highest level of wherever you could be at in America, in the Oval Office, talking to the President of the United States, and you're trying to make all of these different points, and aside from him rambling everywhere, you jumping up and hugging him and talking about how fly he needs to be in that, don't you think that kind of deteriorates the message you could have had in there?
Well,
which overall makes it look bad. Like that's what I mean. Now, I get what you're saying about the social media points because you got to have those points where people are like, yo, look at this, and people cut in certain ways to get their hits up. But overall, with his actions mixed with what he was saying, it does look bad. Like, it's bad overall.
His actions looks bad, but if that's the worst thing people had to critique about what Kanye did and said in that moment, I don't think they really listened to the whole thing. All right, so
I'll give you this, Akademiks. If something comes out of this meeting, one of the things he mentioned, stop and frisk, to your point, he said some important things, right? But it was a monologue. I feel like maybe they had a conversation later. I want to see if next steps happen or if Kanye just felt like he got to have his monologue, his photo op with the president, get his hug, and he's good now.
And you got to realize, though, like, you get your, like, 15 to, like, say what you want to say. Like, you're not going to have the president fucking agree to none of what you're saying. Like, that's the most powerful guy in the country, even if he does agree.
But why don't you pick a couple points and really drive home those instead of rambling off 50 things and then leaving by accomplish nothing?
He's a scatterbrained individual.
So then
but if you've heard any time he's spoken on anything like this before, he's never sounded any more clear than he did then. So he had a little research, and what I'm saying is that you don't have to agree with all his points, because I'm saying Kanye is Team Kanye. We as black people, we ain't saying Kanye represent us, even though it might come across as that way, right? But we can't penalize him for him trying to represent himself and do whatever in his best interest.
All right.
And also some of the stuff he said wasn't that bad for.
Well, look, I mean,
the rest
stop
of
and frisk is a big issue, but that's not the biggest problem we got in the hood. Like, I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. That's not the biggest. That's not the biggest problems we have in the hood. And I come from a neighborhood. I've been getting stopped and frisked since I was in the 6th grade, so I can really attest.
He spoke
to
about
that.
illegal guns. He spoke about illegal guns. He said guns ain't the problems. Legal guns are the problems. You get me? Like he
said legal guns are the problem?
illegal guns are the
Illegal
problems.
guns
Like
are the
he
problem.
hit a lot of things where honestly I was listening. I'm like, nigga's kind of right. You feel me? Like if again,
But if legal, look, if illegal guns are the problem, wait, and because I'm no politician.
illegal.
All right, and I'm no politician. But if illegal guns are the problem, right? That's why they can implement shit like stop and frisk. If that's what you're saying is the biggest issue, because that's how police legitimized. This is how police legitimized stop and frisk. Because of illegal guns, right, and the amount of homicides that happen in the hood, they try to condense it onto people. Out of 5 people, at least 3 of them may have a weapon. That's why I'm gonna stop and frisk you. I'm saying that there's way bigger issues that we have to tackle in America.
What would you have liked him to speak to?
I can't talk about. I'm no politician. I'm not. He doesn't speak for where I come from. I come from I come from the east side of Harlem. Very different, but very similar to Chicago in a lot of different ways. For me, my biggest thing that we have is we have a lot of education. I mean, we have a lot of problems with education, and we have a lot of problems with poverty. When people do not know how to feed themselves, they commit crimes. And they use violence to commit crimes, to make money.
Hold on. He spoke about education.
He
did. I'm being honest. Like,
I
we
understand
can
you.
knock it,
No,
but
no,
like,
no.
yo, if he's trying to address it, and I get it, that's not the nigga we
But
want in that
addressing it in a
position.
very shallow and empty way is useless.
And they're
This is
talking
my
about Yeezys
point.
in the next line.
Maybe we're wrong. I want to be wrong. I want something
it's-
to have come out of this meeting eventually. I just feel like Kanye did his little Googles and then went on a fucking monologue. Like, I don't know if he's going to
either
focus
Jim Brown
and get
or the
anything
people
done.
around in Chicago gave him a little short list, and he tried to get to that.
I don't think Jim Brown. I don't
and
think
sprinkled in.
I don't think Jim Brown gave him a list. What I feel like Jim Brown was there is that Jim Brown has always been a great representation of somebody to have next to you. He was with Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and all of that when the issue was drafting for the Army and all of that back in the days. There's a lot of different things that Jim Brown has been on the front lines for. Do I think Jim Brown was like, yo, listen, this is how you gonna talk to him, this is how we gonna do it?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think that he was just there to be somewhat of a protector, but he fell back.
What Kanye did admit after, especially, prior and also even after the TMZ thing, that he was not informed on a bunch of things he was speaking about.
Okay, exactly.
Can we
Let's
go
all right.
to the next topic?
Yeah, let's just go, yeah.
Like, I know y'all just want to kill him. Me too.
No, I
don't wanna
it's
kill-
not.
But what I'm saying is that he had a short list and he didn't sound. Y'all have yet, beyond the Saturday Night Live thing, it's a 20-minute conversation, at least the version I saw on CNN, and y'all have yet to point out one thing he said that was so wild.
Okay, we already talked about this. Let's
that-
move
right,
on.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
what he
yeah.
said. I just don't think he went in
Yeah,
with
his
good
demeanor's fucked up.
intentions
Of course.
at all. I don't feel like it
Kanye.
wasn't. Look,
Kanye snatches mics.
Look, I feel like we just have to
Snatches
say for the
mics.
record, it's not like we're sitting here shitting on him for no reason. I've been a diehard Ye fan for over a fucking decade. I feel like I've earned the right to say this is just ridiculous at this point. It really is. It's embarrassing. But anyway, let's get to one more story before we leave. We can end on a good note. Drake is on his makeup tour, so you know him and Meek are good. He brought him out at a couple shows. Now during an LA show, he actually brought out Chris Brown, which is really dope. Caption said, "This is not a fan edit. Last time I was on stage with Breezy was 2009 at Virginia Commonwealth University. Got to reconnect with him for the first time at Staples. I love a good full circle moment. Thank you." This is really dope.
That's really dope. That's really dope. Because remember they also had, the incident at the club and all of that shit, you know what I mean, when things got a little bit nasty. So salute to them as men for, finding some common ground and squashing whatever situation they had. I don't know where their situation really was. I think that's more of a behind the scenes thing, but salute to them brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad that these two kind of reunited. I hope possibly in the future as they get even further past that and maybe they do more music together, they could do something like a Best of Both World tours. I think for their generation, in terms of R&B and rap, those are like
The top, yeah.
Those are the top guys. So hopefully they could come together like that. Musically, I felt like fans, we were definitely robbed for like the last 10 years, or was it 8 years since we got a track with these two?
When was Deuce's the
I think
remix?
2011.
Damn, that's a minute ago.
2011. So hopefully they could get back and do some tracks together. And, you know what I mean? I like the fact that Drake is actually practicing a little bit of what he preaches, even though he's building more enemies. But like on his new album, he had said, listen, if it's He says, if it's beef, if nobody gonna die, the beef we gotta dead it. You know what I mean? And a lot of these beefs he's had, like, been a while, and I get some of them got physical, like him and Chris Brown, but like, you guys really hate each other 8 years later. Like, you guys could have a conversation or settle whatever you need to settle. And I'm glad that they're doing it because it fractures the music business too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Cardi and Nicki one day. Can't wait.
I don't know about that, but you know, it's good that they squashed whatever situations they had.
Soon as Nicki throw back that Louis Vuitton, man, they gonna be cool. Trust me.
Stop it, Ag. Don't do that, man. Don't. Offset gonna be on your ass. Stop that.
That's true. That's true.
Just set it up.
All right, that's it. We're gonna end it there. Yeah, we'll talk about the rest tomorrow. X getting some Grammy nods, possibly. Yachty's album is on the way. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.
Peace, y'all.